Hey guys, Bugman here. Trying to turn my phone sideways. Maybe it'll work a little bit better till I get my GoPro up and running again. Um, Wanted to give a little review to start off with. I got my heads in. This is really weird. I don't know if you guys think it is too. Um, got my heads in last week from Kill Devil Diesel, and I haven't got them installed yet. There's so much crap. It isn't funny. Um, Gonna redo this as best I possibly can. I'm gonna tear it all the way down to a short block. Painting the frame rails, of course, to get the lifters. It's right at 200,000 miles, 31. So I decided I'm gonna go ahead and do the lifters while I'm at it. So really don't have the ability to pull the engine or lift the cab. I can pull the engine out, but probably just easier with my transmission jack to drop the tranny, pull the rear plate off, do that rear main seal anyway, because I think it's leaking a little bit. I'm not dripping any oil, and I've checked the inside of the bell housing. It seemed pretty dry, but might as well at 200,000 miles. Try to do this all right, get everything repainted, and make it kind of look nice. And just for giggles, here's a load of crap. Some of my new parts. I've still got a few more parts coming in, and I'm going to try not to have an injector core that I have to pay for, so all 8 injectors. I'm going to pull those off here probably the next couple days, and here's my parts I've taken off so far. I'm just kind of arranging them right now. I've got to clean them and start the painting process. Uh, but yeah, it's just going to be a long process. It's pretty late right now. I'm just trying to get this in because I haven't done it yet. Another link, 6.0 Bros. They had used the Kill Devil Diesel, and really, if showing them, I didn't really like. I think it was his second video. He was just kind of like, bam, bam, there you go, and that was it. And I didn't really like that. He did, I believe it's the first video he did on them. He gave you all the specs and everything, and that was excellent. And a lot of those specs you can get off the website, but he goes in even further. What goes on, the geometry, they're changed. So they're essentially from Pro Max to start with, but they're made to their specifications. So these are not Pro Max heads. They are made by Pro Max, I believe. And then Kill Devil Diesel does all the work. They're sent as bare castings. Then Kill Devil does everything to them, so they're done properly. My biggest issue was using a used set of heads. I have a cracked injector bore, and I tried the bulletproof diesel. It didn't work to fix. I have 2 injector bores that were bad, and I got lucky as far as price. My buddy has one and had a couple extra tubes left, and so I just paid him the extra on that, and I think we can buy more tubes of the sealant stuff. And I still had a small leak afterwards. It worked for a little bit, and then literally like 15,000 miles down the road, it pops again, or at least I started getting more diesel started coming back into the coolant, and I was like, I'm fed up with it. So this was my idea: get new heads that you don't have to worry about it being a problem, or at least you're hoping that they've redone the head enough. I don't believe in any of the Chinese castings. I've heard horror stories from other ones. Big Dog Diesel, I think, DK, Odessa heads. Search deep into the reviews on those. Don't just do the reviews, because if you go to eBay reviews, I think the DK heads are 100%. They can delete some of those negative reviews. So getting on other websites and forums, I was able to find out that there was a bunch of people that were getting bad heads, and they wouldn't stand behind their products, things like that. And it's like, something's just not right. Haven't heard anything bad about Kill Devil Diesel. Only great reviews. These heads go on race trucks that they sponsor. They're probably the different springs and whatnot. These are standard 80 psi springs, and standard valves, things like that. Now they're USA made valves. These heads are O-ringed. The light is not very good in here. Apologize for that. My garage light just kicked off. As far as packaging, wasn't completely impressed with the packaging. A little nerve-wracking. They're in these foam cases. Here's a box. And then they had the green, I've got it over here somewhere, green bag right there. And they were sealed up. They were oiled really nicely. So, you know, no worries. Those could probably sit for years and years. Never have to worry about rust or anything. Water's not going to get into them. That's a really thick plastic bag they were in. But looking at other eBay stores and stuff for some of the Chinese castings that people redo, it was the exact same boxes, so that was kind of scary. Now, going through some of the... I really need to get a light so this is easier to see. There is no... I really need to get a light. 1 second. Bear with me. My light's actually out here. See, I'm just an impromptu guy here. This is not staged or anything. My garage is packed full of stuff. Oh my God. I need my workshop built. Still planning on my 32 by 44, 48, but now they painted the inside of these. So part of me is a little worried. Will this come off over the ages and go through the oil filter and whatnot? Not going to have any rusting issues as long as it holds. It's not ugly whatsoever. A lot of people talk about the Chinese castings being horrible. But their finish work is absolutely beautiful. They did, I don't know if that glares very good. The finish work was great on these. The phone's probably not going to do justice for how perfect their finish work is. One thing, I think it was on a Super Duty service, Anthony had talked about on TJ's castings of his Chinese heads, the valve seats. They had a couple valve seats that were smaller than the actual spring. And all of these are perfect. There's nothing wrong with any of them. That was something I immediately looked for to see, hey, it's the same thing. I did catch something that was kind of odd. Your injector hold down seat. I believe that's what you call it. See that one, and boom, that was kind of odd. Both heads exactly the same. Now I went and used my caliper and checked those, and they are all within 0.02 of an inch. Now here's something, so looking at this one right there, in case you're wondering what I'm looking at, that is the way the factory heads are. They look like that. It's not flat, it's got a little roundness to it. So I'm not sure if that was something they could have done a little bit better at on not the machining process, because the machining made them all perfect. And this is, I checked to the bottom of the injector cup to that. So all of them would be the exact same as far as hold down and clamping pressure, smashing that copper O-ring properly. All the factory ones looking like that really makes me wonder. So when I pull my heads off, that's something I'll be checking to see what are their 0.000 of an inch difference from bottom of the injector cup to where the injector hold down goes, because that can always make a difference when you're trying to get your injector to seal properly. Looking pretty good. Head finish, absolutely spectacular. Looks great. Everything I've ever seen, my buddies' heads and stuff they've gotten, they beat Ford remans like you wouldn't believe. I've seen the Super Duty videos were awesome, where he puts on there and shows just how crappy Ford reman heads are. And these are just absolutely perfect. Now there's some weird, and the light's probably showing something weird, but these are covered in some oil. So absolutely impressed with these. I'm hoping everything's going to work out great. I did, just so someone would try to play this game. I don't know if I can do this and hold the camera at the same time, zero this out. I don't like doing this to where it's gonna, don't want to scratch that head. that isn't going to be, I believe it's 3. That's probably not going to be correct. It's showing 3.74. .73. Now that's something to go look up the specs. I forgot to write all this down before I did this. I had looked it up earlier for what the specs were on the thickness of the head and what Ford says is bad, but then you get a Ford reman head and it's way under that. Thousands and thousands upon thousands of inches too small, and that's where you were running into some issues where valves were tapping pistons and things, and so these aren't going to have to worry about that. They're going to be perfect. But anyway, you should check out, I think it's the first video, 6.0 Bros. He gives a lot of great specs for you to go over to say, into something, I mean, something to think about, to go if these are the heads that you want to put on your truck, and then hopefully just not have to worry about problems again. The better valve seals, the hardened seats. But I wanted to give a little review and go slow with the camera over the heads, so if you might be able to see them a little bit better for yourself. Here's one part, just real quick, that someone, when they take pride in what they're doing, puts their name on the head. That CNC machined into that. That is beautiful. And they got some other serial numbers they've put on there as well. So if something goes wrong with them, obviously I can say this is your head right here. They've taken that kind of pride to put their name right on it without it. And it really looks really nice as well. So anyway, leave some comments if you have any questions or want me to show another video more detailed or anything. Let me know. Thanks for watching.